Okay, let's just dive right in here. I'm so excited about this 90-day transformation of the mind, our bodies, and our business, because I believe truly for us to fulfill our destiny on the earth, we need to be stewarding our bodies well. We can cut our lifespan short by not stewarding our bodies, this gift that God has given us. And then, of course, transforming our mindset and growing our businesses. So today, before we dive into this third key, I'm going to talk a little bit about body transformation and really what the Bible talks about and what the foundation is there. And then as I've gotten older, I'm 43 now and have had 5 children. My mindset used to be, take the supplements, do the workout, and look good. And then as I've gone through a season and many seasons of healing and transformation with an autoimmune disorder and a thyroid condition, and then having children and realizing that if I don't steward my body well in my youth, that I could suffer as I get older, which is not God's plan for me. And so always coming back to the if then part of obedience, I believe, is stewarding our bodies well. And so my mindset, my shift has happened in the last year and a half, especially as I've been thinking about what does it really mean to live a life well, worthy of the calling we've received? And what am I truly capable of? And I think those are really important questions. What is your body capable of? And are you stewarding it well? And I think in our society, it's like, oh, you get older, your body's supposed to break down. We're supposed to start looking old and it's okay to just be kind of let yourself go and be overweight, lack strength, all of those things. And I've started to say, no, I want to grow old and go from strength to strength, not just in my mind, not just in what I'm building, but also in my body. And so I've shifted over into this building strength mindset. And it's actually kept me extremely, I've gotten out of this idea that I need to lose weight and look a certain way. Now it's like, can I go hike a mountain with the boys? Or can I go out and keep up with the kids? And, for every hour that you work out, you're adding 3 hours to your life. So sedentary lifestyle, which is very common in our society today, is actually can progressively age you and rob you of lifespan. And so I've been getting up early in the morning, hearing the Lord and going to a workout of some kind. I've been sweating and detoxing and cleansing. And I feel that I am actually I'm not striving for something. I'm actually building my body from rather than from a place of stewardship, from a place of I'm here to build strength. And so when I get excited now, I'm not thinking about the scale, I'm thinking about, man, to actually be able to age with strength. And I care about looking strong and being strong. And so I want to encourage you that if you have surrounded yourself in, just ideas that it's okay to let yourself go, I want you to know, you don't have to stay where you are. You can build your body and it's worth it. I'm thinking about myself, 2-3 years from now, and it's actually so much easier to build your strength while you're young. If you wait until you get older, it's a lot more challenging to get those things back. It's easier to maintain than it is to build. And it's the same thing with your health. I've always talked about an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and to pay the farmer now or the doctor later. And so when we're stewarding our health, it's so much easier to maintain health than it is to try to get health back once you've lost it. And so the same thing is with your strength. Build your strength. My son, Judah, from the time he was about 7 years old, he started doing pull-ups, and he's going to be 15 in a couple weeks now. And I just can't even believe that. Man, it just makes me emotional to think about. But now he's at a point, he's maintained his strength, and he can do 100 pull-ups in a day. And I'm proud of him for that because I've watched how he has continued to maintain that strength. And I want my family to care about building their bodies. And so I've been modeling that, and Nathan has always modeled it. And so, and my son Seth, who is 13 now, asked me, he's never asked me this before. He said, can you go work out with me? Can we work out together? And I thought, oh, yes, let's do that. This is something that we're going to do together as a family. One of our core values as a family, which I can't wait to dive into that topic of building your core values and your mission as a family. But one of our core values is family. And in that is things like fun. And we've written a whole list of things we want to be included in family. But togetherness is one of our core values. And so I'm like, what can we do together? What can we do in the business together? What can we do traveling together? I mean, there was a time in my early years of building. I mean, when I was doing farmers markets, the boys were all like babies, and I didn't have the full understanding that I have today. And so when they were really little, I didn't take them to farmers markets with me. And they weren't really very much a part of the business until a few years in. And so now I don't want to get on a plane and go without them. I want them with me everywhere I go. I love my family. But whatever the excuse is, and I say that word carefully because I know it's easy for us as mothers to be like, man, where am I going to find the time? Where am I going to find the energy? Why should I care about this? Especially if you're in a circle of friends or in a community of people that don't care about their bodies. And so it's easy to kind of just let it go, right? But I want to encourage you to actually use those as reasons to go out. And for me, I found it. And then you got to find your own rhythm as well. If I waited till the middle of the day to do a workout or to the end of the day, I'd be thinking about it all day. And then by the time 5 o'clock comes, I'm like, I don't want to leave the kids. We're about to do dinner time or noontime. I'm like, it's the peak of work time. And so the best rhythm for me has been to get up early in the morning. I'm actually up before 5. I say 5, but it's usually like 4:40. I stopped using an alarm clock. My body wakes me up right around 4:40, and I get up, I go to class, or I go to the gym, or I'll do, the Peloton downstairs, or I'll run hills, whatever the case may be. I'm breaking a sweat and I'm pushing, and I have goals as well. I want to be at a certain place in my physique at a certain time this year. And so I'm working hard, but I'm working it in a way that I know I can maintain. And I'm doing it in a way that is actually building and not taking away. So a lot of these high intensity workouts, super mega cardio, actually cause your cells and your body to age faster. And so working out, stewarding your body doesn't necessarily mean like mega high intensity. It can be as much as just go for a fast paced walk and break a sweat, or, get some 3-pound weights and a rebounder. If you don't have a rebounder, get one of those. It's so powerful. It's amazing for your lymphatic system. It helps to detox your lymph, which is how your body processes toxins. And so if you get those, if you get into a rebounding rhythm, doing that at home, even if that's just 10 minutes a day with some weights, and then you go do some walking, take your kids with you, take the stroller with you. You've got to look at all the reasons why you're not doing it right now, and flip your mindset into, this is the reason I'm going to do it. I'm doing it for them. I don't have time. That's why I need to work out. It's too hard. I don't have energy. That's why we need to work out. Exercising actually gives you energy. It gives you endorphins. I can't even tell you just the shift of going from a mediocre stewardship of my body into like consistent, proper, just exercise and eating correctly and eating whole foods and hydrating. Remember, our bodies are also electric. I love to talk about Nikola Tesla. He said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, you need to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And so when we hear vibration, we usually think like woo-woo. We might think it's, what's the word? I'm drawing a blank right now. You're probably saying it out loud right now. New age. But the actual truth, and I'm in school right now to be a naturopathic doctor. So by the end of this year, I will be a naturopath. And we talk about what energy actually means. And so when you think about your blood work or, urine samples, that's all chemistry. But when we think in terms of frequency and vibration, all of that is physics. You can measure that. It's actually very scientific. And so you want to steward both. And one of the things that is really important is to eat energetic foods. And so when you look at like GMO foods that have been re-engineered by man, they have lost their charge. So think about your body as a battery, and the sun, think about your body as a battery. And so think about the sun charges the battery. There's all these different things in nature, like real foods, exercise, the sun, that charge the system with actual frequency and energy and vibration, and things like non-GMO, seedless food. We've all bought the seedless grapes and the seedless watermelon, but those foods have lost a lot of its energetic nature. And so it's very important that we're eating energy rich foods. Like, when I'm hydrating, also remember that your body we're not freshwater beings, we're saltwater beings. So when we're exercising, when we're sweating, we need to replenish with salt and minerals, because those are the things that we sweat out, and that's what builds our body. And so a lot of us who work out and then just drink a bunch of water are diluting our digestive enzymes, and we're losing a lot of our frequency. And so one of the things I love to do when I'm getting in the car, I'm up early enough where I can get a giant glass, a mason jar glass full of Kangen water. We do Kangen water that's purified. And so it's Kangen means back to origin. So it has been electrified and it has energy back. It's not dead water, which is a very fascinating topic. And then I'll pour some Redmond's real salt in there. So make sure that you're buying Redmond's real salt to salt your food. Don't buy the table salt. Don't buy the regular, even the Himalayan salt. The best thing you could possibly do is buy Redmond's real salt. It is mineralized. And then if you do that with some lemon, it actually charges your water. So it actually has electrical, it's electric, it's vibrational, it's energy, good energy for your body. And so I could go on about that, but the science is real. Another thing that I've done is I've purchased a Rife machine. Dr. Rife studied frequency in the body, and everything operates at a certain frequency. And so there's about 2,800 programs on this Rife machine. And so everything from virus, pathogens, yeast, all operate at a certain frequency in our body. And when we use the Rife machine, it blasts certain frequencies depending on what program you're running for what, like I've done the EBV virus program. And so I feel the difference. And so what it does is it sends sound waves through the body at a certain frequency that causes these pathogens to combust. And then you do a detox through a foot bath. And so all of these really interesting things that you guys should look into that are so powerful for the body. But our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, and God has a plan for you. But we can thwart his plan by going through the drive-thru every day, by not taking the time to prepare meals, by not staying hydrated. And this is not a bunch of rules to follow, but the Lord put beautiful food in the earth for us to enjoy. Food should be pleasurable. And I think there's controversy over that as well. I've actually heard people say food is merely for nutrition and nourishment. It's not for pleasure, but I don't think God gave us taste buds so that we couldn't enjoy food. And we're going to be having feasts in heaven. So preparing food, I get into a ritual with the boys. We go to the farmer's market on a Saturday. We get fresh produce, and then we come home and we explore meals, or we explore recipes together. It's very much a family thing. And my son Seth actually wants to take some online chef courses because he loves to cook. And my 5-year-old, who's actually 6 now, Asher, I can't believe it. These boys are growing up. He will make eggs for himself in the morning and toast, and he loves to season the eggs. And so everything that you do, you can bring your family along with you. But I want to encourage you to stop making excuses and to have a vision for yourself, to build strength again. And if you have a weight goal in mind, it doesn't matter if it's been 40 years since you've been in the gym or gone and exercised. It doesn't matter how far away you are from your goal. Your body will not only heal itself when you begin to remove things that block it from being healed, but it will also find balance again in your weight, in your energy. There's so many benefits to eating right, getting out in the sun, sleeping at least 8 hours a day, staying hydrated, and then and breaking a sweat. These are actually foundations that we talk about in our naturopathic studies, in naturopathy. So you do those things and you'll notice a transformation. And at first, you might have food addiction. You might be craving sugar and processed foods. A lot of these processed foods and drive-thrus have chemicals in their foods to make them addictive. And so you got to reprogram yourself. But my recommendation is, first of all, when it's whole food, there is no limit. There's no boundary. It's not, that's the amazing thing. When you choose whole, there's just abundance. It's not like you have to count your macros. You might have a lot of the nutritionists that are disagreeing with me, but I can tell you just from being in school and studying and talking to other practitioners and professionals who have reversed cancer, you can't eat too much fruit and you can't have too many vegetables. I love to include protein in the morning as the first thing that I eat because then it curbs my appetite and curbs my craving. So I'll start off with like a quinoa salad with avocado and just herbs and Redmond's real salt and pepper. Maybe I'll make a vinaigrette and you can make a pesto sauce or I'll have, chia seed pudding with coconut milk and a little bit of vanilla. And there's just so many different ways to have protein in the morning. We make smoothies, but then I'll have lots of fruit and vegetables throughout the day. And then I have gotten into a rhythm now where I've stopped craving the garbage. And now I crave the good stuff. My body craves the smoothies and it craves the green juices. And so your body will change and your taste buds will change, which is such a beautiful thing. And so I want to, if anything else, just inspire you to take control back of your health, take control back of your vision of strength and beauty and body. And I say beauty, I hold that very loosely. It's not about society's definition of beauty. It's about who God made you to be and stewarding what this gift is so well. And do it along with your family and bring your family into it. And so remember, hydrate with, so I'm just going to give you a quick recap here. Hydrate with lemon, fresh squeezed lemon, Redmond's real salt. Make sure that you're eating whole foods as much as possible, as much as you can avoid processed, pasteurized dairy, and processed sugars. Any of the chemical sugars, any of that stuff, avoid that as much as possible. Eat whole foods, get plenty of rest, at least 8 hours of sleep, get out in the sun. The sun is like it'll charge your cells, it'll charge your batteries. You'll have vitamin D for days. And then I feel like I'm missing one. If I am, I'm sure you could name it. So that's just some of the foundations. And then also protecting your mind. So this is something we're going to talk about in the next episode. This actually went a little bit, I was just going to cover some basics of health, but I think this is actually one episode in and of itself. But the next thing we're going to talk about is actually the third key. So take care of your body, have a vision for yourself, see yourself in that place of ultimate strength. I have a vision for myself in this particular workout wear and just an example of what building your body can look like in your 40s for any woman who has had children. There's no excuse. I want to be an example of having no excuse. So love you guys so much. Take care of yourself and can't wait to see you more on the inside on the next episode. Thanks for listening to today's show. Hit subscribe or follow and be sure to share this episode with a friend.